7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what is up guys, it is Rick Pete back with my latest video, which is finally my WrestleMania 35 thoughts. Sorry it's taken so long. The reason for that is that I'd watched it, so I made some notes because, you know, the old memory is not what it used to be. And then I thought, maybe I was slightly overly critical after watching it straight after NXT and being blown away by TakeOver. So I thought, right, I'll watch it again and just see what happens. And to be fair, I pretty much came to the same conclusion as I had originally. So this is the first chance I've had to sort of sit down and record my thoughts. So without further ado, as much as I hate saying that, here are my thoughts to WrestleMania 35. And I know Money in the Bank is just around the corner, so I'm well late getting this up, and I do realise that, and I apologise. So yeah, WrestleMania 35. Right off the bat, Alexa Bliss looked absolutely amazing. I was like, wow, she just looked stunning. Obviously, Hogan came out, which didn't bother me one bit. I've not watched wrestling for ages, and if I started watching it and watched it non-stop for the next 10 years and never saw Hulk Hogan again, I wouldn't be upset. I just, don't like the guy. So, that aside, first match, Paul Heyman comes out and announces that Brock Lesnar's got things to do, so he wants to get it done over and done with quickly. So first match off the bat is Seth Rollins challenging Lesnar for the Universal title. This was a pretty quick match, to say the least. I was surprised by how quick it was. I mean, you can forget Suplex City, it was low blow and curb stomp City. I was surprised it was the opening match. I really don't get why, but it is what it is. It's WWE booking, and as we all know, Rollins is the new Universal Champion. So obviously, at least the title will be on Raw again, and people will be able to see it and not forget what it looks like. Next matchup was AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Like I said, I came into this and TakeOver completely blind. I've not watched any wrestling for a long time, so I have no idea about how storylines are built up or anything like that. So I don't know what the whole thing with Orton and AJ is. The commentators did sort of give a bit of a backstory about how AJ said that Orton had everything handed to him and he'd had to work all over the world to get where he is and everything. So that did kind of give a bit of a clue to me as to why they were facing each other. Decent match. I wasn't blown away by it, but it was a decent enough match. It was entertaining. There was plenty of stuff in it to make you think that one person won a win, and false finishes, I suppose, and everything. But yeah, weren't blown away, but I did enjoy it. I was glad that AJ got the victory. Next up was the Fatal 4-Way for the SmackDown Tag Titles. Now, initially with stuff like this, they try and fit like too much into the match, but they didn't with this. They did a great job. To me, and this is just my opinion, everything was just brilliant. It was paced out well. They got plenty of spots in, plenty of times when you thought somebody might win and everything. But yeah, really enjoyed this match. I thought it was a great job. But Usos retaining, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. I like the Usos. I thought Aleister Black and Ricochet again made a really good showing for themselves after wrestling on the Friday at TakeOver. So yeah, really enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good. Next up, there was a vignette with something to do with, I don't know if it was a Hall of Fame or something. I can't remember now. But what has happened to Tori Wilson? She was absolutely beautiful, and now she just looks rough. Was nice to see China get acknowledged. Yeah, it must have been a Hall of Fame bit. It's nice to see China get acknowledged in the DX bit. Will we ever get to see it on her own merit, though? This is the big question. People like Tori Wilson can get in. I'm pretty sure that China should be able to get a place in there. So next up was Shane versus Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Shane calling himself the best in the world, Not 100% why, something to do with the tournament, something he won. Like I said, I went into this blind, I'd not seen anything beforehand, so, but yeah, he's known calling himself the best in the world. It took him announced about 10 attempts to announce him, something like that. Seemed to go on forever. Miz came out. I just don't get it. Never liked him, never will. And I can honestly say I don't know if I like seeing Miz or his baked potato faced dad get beat up more. I cannot and will never cheer for Miz. I just don't like the guy. I've never liked him. And I thought the finish they did was really good. How everybody thought that Shane had won because of Miz had won because of the way he took him off, but Shane's arm being over the top. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, Shane's going to win it. And I'm glad he did, because, like I said, I just hate the Miz. Can't stand him. Women's tag team match was up next, and Paige came out, and, I'm not just saying this because I'm English, but she looks amazing. The whole, leaked videotapes thing aside, which did kind of put me off her for a bit, but she looked amazing. So yeah, next up was the women's tag team match. I wasn't really expecting much from this, and that is no disrespect to the women involved at all. It was just a case of we'd already seen that sort of thing with the SmackDown titles, the multiple team thing, and I thought they obviously had a lot to live up to. But I enjoyed it more than I initially thought I would. It was nice to see Beth Phoenix in the ring, and she hasn't lost a step. She looks like she's been training in the back garden. She looked really good. Iconics winning. Yeah, I was all over that. It was nice to see somebody different get a title, and obviously afterwards, Sasha's kind of thrown the teddy out, and he's having like a little paddy, but whether that's as a result of her losing a title, I don't know. But yeah, seeing Iconics win was nice. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye and see what happens with those. Next up, Kofi Kingston challenging Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. If Kofi wasn't a part of the Not So New Day, I may have been pulling for him more, but the fact that he's still associated at this point with Big E and Xavier Woods, I just couldn't do it at the start of the match. To me, they just rehashed the Daniel Bryan storyline where he had to fight to get himself into the main event of WrestleMania when he eventually won the title. But with Bryan as the heel, which did seem a bit lazy to me, but like sort of seeing the storylines, they are very similar. Kofi's been there for a long time, and he's put up with a lot of crap, and it was a great match, and something's just fallen for some reason. But after the match, when Kofi won, seeing him celebrate with his kids, I was happy for him. It was a case of, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, you probably do deserve this, Kofi, and fair play to you. So yeah, congratulations to Kofi Kingston. Whoa, stuff falling all over the place, and I don't know why. They recapped the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Braun Strowman won it, so God help him now. His career is probably on a downward decline, much like everybody else who's won it. Cesaro won it. Nothing happened with him really. Started the bar with Sheamus tag titles. That's about it. Then Baron Corbin won it. Then the US title run. That's about it. And then Mojo Rawley won it and vanished. Big Show won it. And it was. Oh, did he win it? I can't remember now, but yeah, it just seems like that trophy's cursed. So good luck to Braun Strowman trying to get any sort of storyline or anything title reign now. Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the US title. Blinked and missed it. That was a quick match. I thought Rollins and Lesnar was pretty quick, but that was, I think Ray got about 5-6 offensive moves in and then bang, tapped out. So yeah, that was a really quick match. I have no problem with Samoa Joe as US champion. I've liked Samoa Joe for a lot of years. So yeah, cool that he's got a title. Next up, McIntyre versus Reigns. I'm spotting a Roman Reigns t-shirt. It's not by sort of intention, it's more just a case of it was first t-shirt I grabbed this morning and I've not worn it for a while. But yeah, I had no doubt that Reigns were going to win. Given his comeback from leukemia, and well done to Roman Reigns for that. So that's great. I always knew he was going to win, but the match itself was really good. I really enjoyed it, and even though he lost, they made McIntyre look like a credible sort of, challenge to anybody. He did look really good, even in defeat. I just hope now that they don't waste Drew McIntyre, because I remember his first run in WWE, and then they let him go, and he went to TNA and everything, and it was all right there. And then he was ICW, and I watched a lot of his stuff in ICW, and it was amazing. So yeah, I just hope that they don't just give him a crap storyline now, and see where that goes. Next up, Elias came out, and he was just rattling on with himself as a band. And then old school John Cena came out, the Doctor of Thugonomics, and that was just awesome to see. That is the Cena that I was a massive fan of. That is the Cena that inspired me to make my first belt that I bought, the spinner. It was great to see him complete with hitting an FU, not an AA. Yeah, I'd love to see old school Cena back permanently. That was just awesome. Batista versus Triple H. Yeah, I knew Triple H would find some way of having a Mania moment. It's like he wants to run everything behind the scenes, but he refuses to give up being in the spotlight. So, it's like you need to make your mind up at some point. And how much of the budget was spent on his entrance, it was just crap. Again, the last entrance I saw of his, can't remember which one it was now, the Terminator one. It was just rubbish. Because it just had no build up to it. They just sort of like, oh yeah, we've been advertising Terminator Genesis, so we'll just have some Terminators on the stage and just, but it was crap. And then there was like can't remember what the one, the trike one where he came with Stephanie. And there was this one where he was being chased through a desert and shit, and it just didn't do it for me. I just thought it was a waste. I enjoyed the match. I wasn't sort of like emotionally invested in it. Like I said, I didn't have much of a clue. I mean, I know they showed like a build-up package to it, but I just didn't see the point of bringing Batista back just to lose at WrestleMania. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming he got paid well for it, but that's about all I can assume. Like I said, I knew Batista weren't going to win, and I knew Triple H weren't going to lose his career and give up the chance to be in the spotlight. So the thing is, I used to be a massive Triple H fan, but just lately, the last few events I've seen him, it's just been a case of he's there for whatever reason. It was a good match. The some of the moves, including the steps, were absolutely just immense. The kickouts from him were just like unbelievable. You thought it was all done and dusted, and nope. Triple H kicks out, Batista kicks out. Excuse me. But yeah, I did enjoy the match, but I just didn't really see the point of it. Next up was Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. Along with, I would pretty much guess, the rest of the planet who were wrestling fans, I was really pissed to see that Baron Corbin would be Kurt Angle's last opponent in WWE. And the fact that they were saying, Kurt Angle chose him himself. No, I don't think so. John Cena should have been his last opponent, seeing as he was his first proper opponent at the start of the Ruthless Aggression era. I mean, I saw a tweet by a guy called Billy Kirkwood, who's a comedian, and he does commentary for ICW Wrestling. And he put a tweet out saying that, finding out that Baron Corbin is Kurt Angle's last opponent is like finding out that Jeffrey Accounts is in the starting lineup for Real Madrid. I've never been a massive fan of... I was a fan of Biker Corbin, but now he's become Topshop, which is a clothing store over here. Corbin, even his hair's got that bored of him and pissed off, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, I watched the match, and all I can say is, what the fuck? Baron Corbin won. Bullshit. Angle should have gone out on a high, and I don't care if it was an attempt for WWE to try and pass the torch and all that bollocks. Angle should have gone out on a high. That's all I can say about that. And in a Forrest Gump style. That's all I've got to say about that. IC title, Lashley versus Finn Balor. The almighty Lashley, really. Never really been a massive Lashley fan, even his original out in WWE. I was never a massive fan, so I was totally rooting for Finn Balor in this one. Really glad to see him win. So him to claim the IC title, make him a two-time champion, which, it's only fair, seeing as it was injury that caused him to have to relinquish the Universal Championship. So finally, we have the main event, the first ever time women have main evented WrestleMania. For both titles. I didn't know if this was going to unify them or whether they were just going to have somebody become like a champion of both brands and defend each title at each pay-per-view or what. I had no idea. I was a bit concerned about it being the main event, and that is not because there was women in it. It was just because there have been so many multiple person matches, should I say. There have been the ladder matches for the not ladder matches, the multiple tag team title matches, and it just seemed a bit like, put another 3 people in a ring and let them go at it. But the backstories did kind of make sense. So before the match started, all I could remember thinking to myself was, and I mentioned it in the OWO pre-WrestleMania podcast that we did a while ago, my first thought was anyone but Charlotte. Just please God, anyone but Charlotte. I would have been happy with Rousey taking both belts. I would have been happy with Becky taking both belts. Hell, I would have been happy with both of them pinning Charlotte and taking their respective titles back. But I enjoyed the match a lot more than I thought I would. I suppose that's been a thing for WWE, going with low expectations and find yourself pleasantly surprised. But no, I thought they did a good job of main eventing it. Nice to see Becky win. Like I said, I would have been happy with her or Ronda, but now Becky was the one that came out on top. So yeah, well done Becky, 2 belts. Obviously that's the t-shirt now. So yeah, it was nice to see somebody but Charlotte get a run. So overall, my thoughts on WrestleMania 1, I thought it was far too long. It is just long. It's just like a marathon. I watched it initially over 2 evenings, and then when I rewatched it, I did it in one sitting, and I felt so sorry for the people that were there. I really did, because it's like, really, how the hell do you sit in them plastic seats for all this time? You know what I mean? It just seemed to go on forever. As the event itself goes, too long. I preferred TakeOver. I thought TakeOver was a lot better show, and TakeOver was timed just nice. I don't know why WWE are trying to do these bloody 3-day pay-per-views. It's like, just give us, title matches and matches that are going to finish off some sort of rivalry or something. I mean, you don't be giving us like loads of stuff. I mean, I didn't even watch the kickoff show, and I still thought it was too long. So, all my friends from the belt group over here in the UK, European House of Wrestling Belts, if anybody's interested in joining, Facebook, great group. How them guys managed to sit through all that is just beyond me. I just couldn't do it. So it weren't a bad event. Like I say, it was too long, and again, I preferred TakeOver. I thought TakeOver was just a better show. NXT, since I last watched that, and the main roster of NXT is still, to me, the better brand. But it is what it is, and WWE will keep churning out these pay-per-views and stuff. So hopefully they'll realise that 5 hours or whatever it was is just too long for a wrestling show. I mean, New Japan have Wrestle Kingdom, which is about 5 hours, but I've sat through that and it didn't feel like 5 hours. Sat through 3.5, 4 hours of Lord of the Rings and it didn't feel like that. WrestleMania felt like twice as long as it actually was. So yeah, my opinion is it's far too long. But I mean, it wasn't a bad show. I haven't seen last year's, so I may have to watch that and compare it to this one. But that'll pretty much do it for this, guys. So I'll get the point now when I'm starting rambling. But yeah, that was my thoughts on WrestleMania 35. Because I'm sorry it took so long. I will try and get one for Money in the Bank, and I'll try and get it up straight away as soon as I've watched it, and hopefully it'll be not too long after the actual event itself. But for now, guys, that'll do it from me. So I always thank you for watching, taking the time out. Thank you for those who subscribe, both old and new. Don't forget I have a Spreadshirt store. There's some pretty cool designs on there that I've done myself. I haven't paid somebody to come up with these designs for me. The ones I've done myself. So if people think they're a bit basic, then I apologise for that. But I've done. So, but yeah, check it out. There's some good stuff on there. This is assuming I remember to put the link in. But yeah, that'll do it for now, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon with a new video. So until then, bye for now.